What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back with
Gersh1
to answer your questions in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put question in front of your question. We get to those questions first. And that is what
Penguin?
No, close. Alexandre Salas did.
That is pretty close.
Why there isn't an online game for Warhammer that replicates the board game? Only these crappy RTSs. What does RTS stand for?
Real time strategy. So like Dawn of War.
Oh, okay. So the reason for that is, I think, competition. Like, GW does not want competition for their board game. It's always interesting to me that Magic the Gathering, Pokemon have, like, online counterparts. In these situations, it kind of makes sense because of what COVID is doing with, like, the world, where, like, you can't really go into a shop and, like, play with others. But yeah, that is why that has not been happening.
There is, however, I believe it's Tabletop Simulator is what it's called. And that's the closest thing you can get to playing the tabletop game of 40K virtually online.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I've never played it, so I don't know exactly how well it works. Like, is it grid form, and that's how you move, like, your minis and stuff like that? Or, like, how well it handles the phases, the morale, like, how much of it you have to do and how much of it is already pre-written into, like, the code of the game? Like, I don't know. I should look into that. It seems interesting.
Yeah, but I think you do point out a good, like, there's something about structuring a game that is a lot quicker than the tabletop, so the options that you have, you don't have as much time to think about them. Because if you have to pick every single model, or if you have to, like, designate, okay, this model in this unit is going to go to this little square and it's going to move to this little square, and, like, do a 100% replica of the tabletop, then just play the tabletop.
Yeah.
Like, but
obviously we can't because of COVID right now.
But. Yeah. But, like, if you have the capabilities of, like, an online game, then in that situation you do just highlight and select go here, but you don't have the detailed analysis of, like, no, I want you to conga line, things like that. So I think there is, like, that element of, like, if you want a one-for-one copy of the tabletop, then just play the tabletop. It's the same thing. Well, I mean, maybe cheaper, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, GW should put out a game like that, or maybe at least a version of it, so that people can, like, play test armies, models, rules before buying them.
But then the big danger is that, like, what's the point of playing the tabletop then if you have it online?
That's true. But I mean, you could say the same thing. Why collect Pokemon cards when you could just play the TCG online?
Which is why it's like it's such a mystery to me why that exists and why they do that.
Because sometimes it's better to, like, for example, when you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And, like, he summoned Exodia and he shook your deck. Like, you can't do that playing online.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like the thrill of seeing your opponent lose or win.
Or cry.
Or cry or slap you across the face because they lost. You can't have that online.
Yeah, that's true. I think because when we talked about this last, we also did talk about the fact that because we're older, in terms of, like, the gameplay, we've been playing since, like, 4th edition, kind of. There is that element of, like, no, like, you want to stick with the board game and not an online game. But that could just be because we're old.
Right. Like, a lot of, like, older people are like, you guys have all these smart boards and stuff like that. We had projectors and chalkboards. Kind of that same thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, you're playing 40K on a computer? Well, we had to bust out the table, make our own terrain.
Draw little checkers on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We had to play with the risk of our models falling off the table and breaking.
And I don't know if, like, the barrier to enter 40K is really you buying the models. Because if that was the case, wouldn't you just go to a painting company and, like, have them paint the models for you, and then you could just buy them and then play them?
Yeah.
But who knows?
If you guys have played the tabletop simulator, let us know how it is.
Right. Next question.
Warsmith Gaz. Wouldn't it be awesome if all the 40K factions unlocked the Webway? We may be able to explore a whole new map aside from the Milky Way galaxy.
No. So the Webway and the warp is tied to the Milky Way galaxy.
Right.
Which is why you don't have like weird Xenos coming from other galaxies except the Tyranids, who do not use the Webway or the warp.
Yeah, and there are still battles being waged within the Webway, such as the Thousand Suns against the Eldar. You've got Segura in there, Slanesh, Yvrain. Like, there are stuff happening within the Webway.
Right. Kamara being coming under attack by the Tyranids. Yeah.
The Black Library.
Yeah. I actually thought that I have always thought that is a really good thing that GW did. Like, they made a distinct difference between basically like secure highway versus the back roads, and the warp is the back roads, and it gives you an entire like field of like lore that you can explore, as opposed to just saying like, no, everything is just like a highway.
Yeah. Yarshman, will GW ever release another playable 40K race? I was thinking about this, and it's like, I want them to, because it'd be interesting to see what type of race it is and how it plays and how it feels. But at the same time, it's like, look at the Eldar. They still need models to be made into plastic. Like, adding another race is just going to slow everything else for everyone except the Space Marines.
Right. Yep.
So as much as I want it, I don't think it'd be good for the hobby. Yeah. Hobby Lobby.
Next question.
Shinku Kiritu Ichika. How will things be like if the Emperor's children never went to Trader? What if Fulgrim didn't pick up the Lair Blade and fought alongside Ferrus Manus? I still think things would have probably went the same way. Obviously, Ferrus Manus wouldn't have been beheaded. Obviously, there'd be no Lucius or any of that. But there'd probably be another chapter that did fall to Slanesh, and there would be the same type of characters and replacements for these people, just not the Emperor's children.
Yep, because Chaos is always like lurking, or Slanesh is always lurking. Yeah. Who do you think would be the next, or the other person to fall to Slanesh? I would give it to the Blood Angels.
Yeah, I could see the Blood Angels, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody else doesn't really make sense. Like, the Dark Angels, I don't feel like they're all about perfection in that. The Space Wolves are too brutal for that.
Maybe Jacket's Icon. Like, they want to perfect the hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. This question comes from Alif Cox. What would you call the Chaos version of the Death Watch?
Los Tucanes del Norte.
Definitely. That's Banda, right? Yeah, but the Death Watch, because there are Xeno killers, like, is there a Chaos version of Xeno killers? No. Chaos just hates everything.
More so like the Imperium.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's by Maximus Rodriguez. How does the warp work? Do thoughts and emotions become a reality in there? What happens if somebody thinks about something in the past? Could it be changed? Does it occur in the warp? Who would play the people that initial person thought of?
So it is not a reflection. Yeah, you're thinking of it as like the Upside Down from Stranger
Things. Yeah.
It's not.
It's not a dream world either, where like your thoughts become reality. Right. Your thoughts, your belief, feed chaos based on emotion and stuff. But it doesn't manifest into something physical.
The best way I can explain it is that it is a dream. It is a dream world where your dream makes no sense. It's chaotic. But for some reason, the emotions that you had throughout the day coalesced into this dream that you had, this small little snapshot of what you had. And that small little snapshot is the coalescence of your emotion, but it's only yours. The ones that actually matter are the ones that it's like a collective thing. Like, everybody has gone through COVID. So if everybody dreams about some type of like isolationist type of dream, then that coalesces into a chaos god of isolation type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably a minor chaos god, but still.
For sure, yeah. The same could be said about worshiping when you're not like dreaming, because like that's what the emperor is becoming. He's becoming a god of a chaos god of the light.
See way.
Simon. Next question.
This one's by Auntie. Have the Necrons ever encountered orcs? Not during the Battle of Heaven, but in 40K time.
Nah.
They don't busy themselves with lesser beings.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of orc versus Necron stories.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our 40 facts on orcs
versus Necrons. There's been a lot of kit bashes of like orcs taking Necron technology.
Yeah. The popular one is the one that the Necron Lord rides on, the scythe.
Yeah.
What's it called? The croissant?
No, croissant is the flyer.
Well, they all have
they're all croissants. Oh.
Next question.
Dan D16. Who let the dogs out?
It was a player of the Dark Eldar, Death Guard, and Raven Guard, and some homebrew.
Primaris.
Yeah, chapter.
Mm-hmm. And it's whom, not who.
Right. Next question.
Justin Casey. When are we getting more Blessed is the Mind? Hope you guys are chilling. Love catching the greater WAAAGH.
This should go out on Friday, so like I probably have created one already. So yeah, make sure that like you are typing in "Blessed is the Mind" and then hitting search, because what I'm doing now is combining the "Blessed is the Mind" videos and the 40 facts videos. Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Warsmith Gauze. What do you think would happen to the Primarchs if they landed on an Orc or Eldar world? And what about if they landed on an uncolonized world with no sentient life? How would that have changed their growth?
Wait, if who?
So like the Primarchs, when Chaos flung them across the galaxy, what if they were flung into like an Orc-infested world or a world with no sentient life?
If it's no sentient life, I think the same thing that happened to, or supposedly, one of the stories of the Alpha Legion is that they did land on a barren rock and they were picked up by Corsairs.
Right, pirates.
Yeah, because if you notice, all Primarchs are connected somehow to human colonies.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it was the Orcs, it would be like an Orc-infested world that somehow like the Primarch pacifies the Orcs.
I was thinking more of like a Tarzan kind of thing, where like he's brutal and very orcish, can't really speak, kind of like grunts and no, orcs do speak. I guess he speaks with like that English accent.
The low Gothic.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like if you're homebrewing a lost Primarch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make him look all feral and like have his like second in command be named Kerjak or something.
The cool thing about that too is like, we know that there are orc headhunters, and there are like I think they're called Diggas from
text to speech. Well, I mean, they talk about it there.
Yeah, well, but it comes from the what is it?
Necromunda?
No, it's not Necromunda. Gorka Morka.
There you go. Yeah.
So from that game, those guys,
they just paint their faces green and they're like, we're orcs.
But they can use weapons in the same way that the orcs would use weapon. And you have to remember that orc technology is like, if a human pulls the trigger on this weapon, more likely it's going to blow up in their hand. Mm-hmm. But these orc headhunters have figured out how to do it so that it doesn't. So they kind of have adopted this mentality. And it's a psychic, biological mentality. So I wonder if the Primarch would just adopt that as well. if it was your scenario.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if he met Yarick.
He would lick his eye. His bionic eye. Next question.
This one's by Hippie Hurdler. Will we ever see your dogs? I need to see the fur babies.
Yeah, if you check out just watch our 40 facts videos. I usually display them or blessed is the mind too small for doubt videos, they come around. Your border collies. Next question.
Chaos is what the galaxy deserves. Damn, that's heretical, but a cool name. What happened to the Catan shard that was sucked into the warp via a vortex grenade? You, sir, are talking about I believe it was the shard of the Nightbringer, who was fighting against Cato Sicarius, and Sicarius pulled out his, aha, I got you. I'm a named character. I'm not going to die. And he threw a vortex grenade, and it basically, think of it as like a miniature black hole where it sucked the Catan into the warp, and Catan are severely, severely weak, 4 times weakness to the warp, kind of like Pokemon. So they basically just dies in the warp.
Like Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Those pocket monsters, not the digital kind.
Right. That's heresy. This next question comes from Colin in Texas. I asked my junk where it's been, and he only replied with, what happens in Vegas, and walked away. What is the appropriate response to that?
I mean, you're just going to have to cut your losses and call it.
Well, if you're asking your junk where it's been, it's probably because it burns. So it's not like it's going to stop burning.
Mm-hmm.
If your junk is burning and it's not responding to you in the way that you want it to, go into your tub and grab the, what's it called?
The shower head?
The shower head. Switch it to like that one jet that's in the middle. And you know what to do.
Flush it out. Or even better yet, get a power washer.
You could do that. You could do that. Basically, like you were waterboarding him in order for him to like, speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you figure out where he's been, the power washing probably cleaned it out. So you actually didn't have to.
Yeah, it's like if you're Catholic, it's like going to confessional.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're cleansed of your sins.
But better. Because only you touch your privates.
Ay Dios. Dem tax. Why is it a bad idea to do an image search for popcorn if you're dyslexic? I'll let you figure it out. You two seem like smart boys. Popcorn? Cop?
I thought, so if I'm dyslexic, I would, instead of saying pop, I would say bop. Or bob.
Bobcorn?
Popcorn.
I thought like you were going to say like corn pop.
Corn pop. That was a cereal.
Gotta have my pops.
Corn pops. That was actually really good too. It was one of my favorite cereals. Comment down below what your favorite cereal was.
What's that one with the frog? Smacks? I don't know. I always liked CT Crunch.
What's CT Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, okay. With the cinnamon. Or is that the same
No,
one?
that's Apple Jacks.
Oh,
It's
Apple
like
Jacks.
Cinnamon is the weenie mon.
Weenie-mon.
Here I come, I am Cinnamon. That was a fun commercial.
It was.
But I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is
All sugar, and you shouldn't eat it.
yeah. But like the water became horchata, so the
That's
water,
true.
the milk.
Yeah.
I can't drink milk anymore.
Neither can I, yeah. Next question.
Angel Warrior 28. Since the fall of the Eldar, have there been any Eldar that have become Dark Eldar, and Dark Eldar that have become Eldar? So basically, Eldar live lives so long that they have different paths that they can take. So think of an Eldar as like a blank canvas, and depending on the path that he partakes in, that will paint him to be that type of Eldar.
Yeah, even though he's supposed to go through each path.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the path of the outcast, which is a Corsair, basically. It's an Eldar Corsair. And he has the threat of becoming a Dark Eldar. So yes to that. Now, is there a Dark Eldar that joins a craft world? I don't think I've ever come across that story.
Yeah.
No.
It's like once you go into a Dark Eldar, you stay a Dark Eldar for life. The only way you come out is in a body bag.
Blood in, blood out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that movie?
I have, actually. Oh, speaking of movies, I saw 7 Pounds. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, with...
Will Smith?
No.
No. Which one are you talking about?
The other boxing movie.
Oh, is that called 7
The
Pounds?
one with like the I think Wahlberg is in it.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, with that other guy who like loses a lot of weight. How was 7 Pounds?
It is depressing, man. Like, whew.
I feel like Will Smith has like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Mm-hmm.
and then depressing movies. It's probably that one, and then the Muhammad Ali one, and then
the was it the Happiness?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit
Yeah.
of Happiness.
So, and then after that, it's like a bunch of like
action.
Really, yeah, but like the action isn't even like it's not noteworthy. The only noteworthy Will Smith action movie is
What, Bad Boys, Hancock.
oh shit.
You didn't like Wild Wild West.
I did not like Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
But who knows?
That's true.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. I hope we answered the last question. I don't even remember.
Yeah, did we?
I think so.
I mean, if you guys got to this part of the video, instead of telling us if we answered the last question, are you Team Godzilla or Team Kong?
Godzilla all day.
I'm gonna go for King Kong.
Talk to you guys when they fight.
Yeah, or just play War of the Monsters on PS3, PS4.
That's an old movie. Or old game.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite games.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Sound Alchemist.
Gersh won.
Out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation. I knew I never had that much to lose.